Our next session is Behind the Scenes, Stitching AI and Analytics into CX. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Dave Anderson, VP of Product Marketing at ContentSquare.
I've got some great news. I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. You guys, which one do you want first? The good news or the bad news? Oh shit, I was really hoping you'd say good. Okay, the bad news is I literally got a phone call from the customer that was going to be in this session. Please don't race for the door. I promise to make it good. Who called literally 10 minutes ago and said, we have an emergency. I can't come on stage. The good news, don't race for the door. The good news is I know you want no more AI hype and you actually want a practical use case for how people are leveraging AI to the benefit of delivering better digital experiences. So the good news is I'm going to endeavor to do that with a colleague of mine without doing a product pitch, but try and make it as practical as possible. I'm not judging you for leaving. So let's get into it, because I do feel like with AI, we're at the dawn of this incredible new era. And I was trying to find a slide that represented it. Yesterday, I'm not sure if you guys were in the session with Perplexity, and they were talking about the search queries that are now appearing within Perplexity or ChatGPT. So someone prompting and how the brands are ranked based on that. And Perplexity basically said, don't know yet, because they haven't developed it. And I think we're at this dawn of this new era where if you look at this video, at this photo, there's no windscreen on that car. There's no seat belts. There's no stop signs. There's no traffic lights. There's barely a road, although there's a curb. And people died as a result. And I'm not saying people are going to die as a result of AI, but I was trying to use an analogy of this industry is at the start of something really, really big, and how we evolve with it is so exciting. And that's what I wanted to share some of it with you today. It's also frightening because we're doing some crazy things out there, which I just recently presented in Australia. You can probably tell from my accent that I'm Australian and I'm living in Boston. And I asked the audience for a thumbs up or a thumbs down whether they think it was a good idea that Zoom, as an example, sent an avatar of their CEO to the financial earnings instead of the actual CEO. Physical activity for you all. Thumbs up or thumbs down whether you think that was a really good idea. Right, the audience has spoken, avatars are out. That was a really bad idea. If the CEO doesn't turn up to their session, why should anyone else? So great, let's keep moving on. And then other better news is Anthropic thinks that, we're all going to be out of jobs, which is great news for all of us, which I don't fully believe. Of course, we all need to evolve as part of what we need to do with work, because according to Dell, 85% of the jobs that exist in 2030 don't exist yet. So we have to evolve, right? Part of what I wanted to share with the customer was how they are evolving, how they've changed the way they look at analytics and the practical use cases for using AI in order to do that. But we all know in everything that we're doing, we're all using ChatGPT, and I was using an example the other day where I bought a camera, and so everything's changing. I am personally kind of scared about what my kids are going to do in the future. That's a separate fear that I have. I'm actually also super interested in the robo-taxis, and I ran some analysis. By 2030, there's supposedly going to be 50% of cars in New York City could be robo-taxis and not driven by people, which equates to, when I did the research, 60,000 cars. So that's 60,000 people, if it's 50%, don't have a job anymore, which is incredible. And you start thinking about, so what are those people going to do? And that's when you start getting into a whole different thing. I'm not going to do this now, but I actually did wonder, are they going to have horns, the autonomous vehicles? Because if New York has electric cars and no horns, it's going to be super eerie, because that's what I think of when I think of New York. Anyway, I love New York, by the way, in case you're from New York. It's a wild world. We've got AI personalization, we've got experimentation, we've got conversational search, we've got chatbots, we've got AI avatars, we've got personalization. I've never thought it's ever going to be harder than it is now. And I keep saying that every year, that it's going to get easier. And yet for retailers, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I reckon your jobs continually get harder. And AI isn't necessarily something that is at the moment improving what it is that you do. Maybe in some facets it is. In some cases, it's presenting an additional challenge because this is a new channel that you now need to pay attention to. In the same way that when Amazon came out with its marketplace, it was like, that's it, that's the end of retail. But it's not, it's another opportunity. And so I think AI is an opportunity for retailers as much as it is a challenge. And I really love this quote because we're all learning and we're all evolving. And I think it's super exciting opportunity for us to leverage how we can actually use this AI for better or for worse, or don't use it at all. Now we're going to welcome to the stage. You guys all know that this isn't actually happening. I'm going to welcome instead, actually, so side note, and don't shoot if any of my sales team are here. So I did have the opportunity to invite a sales rep onto the stage or a solutions consultant that worked really closely with the customers. What do you guys want to hear from? Do you guys want to hear from the sales rep or the solution consultant? Solution consultant. So in fact, the salesperson on the booth went straight away, I'll do it. And I went, absolutely not. So please welcome to the stage, John Montes, who works very closely with Alexander Wang. John, come to the stage. This is called Choose Your Own Adventure, because John has no idea what was on the slides. So what we're going to do at the end...
True story.
This is true. So what we're going to do at the end is you guys are going to rate him as to whether or not you think he did a good enough job, okay? So at the very end, we'll go like, yeah, John, pretty good. And like a kind of an angle would be like, yeah, never again.
Well, I'm counting on you guys.
Yeah? All right, let's see how we go. All right, John, what do we have here?
So what you're seeing on the screen is a zoning feature that we offer in ContentSquare. Basically, what you're looking at is a very good way of understanding not only clicks, it's experience analytics, it's exposure analytics. What you're seeing here is helping retailers understand whether users are even seeing the content that you're putting out there in your pages.
Yep. This is an AI session. What's this got to do with AI?
Well, the AI right now is nothing. Yes,
exactly.
Not yet.
Brilliant, and that's good, and we're going to get to the AI. But yeah, what we're seeing here is how Alexander Wang uses, and if I was having the conversation with the customer, which I will do, what they do is it's visual analytics. So it allows people to go, oh, okay, interesting. Image on the left performing way better than the one on the right because it's got a higher click engagement than others, and of course you can go through and look at others. Gets everyone on the same page. Not bad, pretty good start. I like it.
Yeah.
You ready for the next one?
For sure.
Oh, it's a video. This is going to be tricky.
Okay.
And I click one more time and it plays. Yes. Silence as he absorbs what it is. This is John the AI, the avatar.
Yeah. So this is representing a user navigating through any mobile experience right now. So they're shopping around, they're looking at certain pictures within that particular product. So you're just trying to figure out which product they like better. In this case, am I adding to bag? No, they did not.
They did not, no. But that was a perfect example of a session replay, which gives a view of what someone looks at when they're navigating through a site, which is great for getting an understanding of a customer and their journey.
Great.
Yeah?
Yes.
Very good. Now comes the part where things have changed a little bit, because what do you do when you're looking at hundreds of thousands of sessions? Do you start looking at session replay? Is that how someone would analyze a site? When you're inundated, we have this thing, all of you have, I have a running joke where it's like, we have more analytics than we've ever had before. We have more dashboards than we ever have before, but are we any better at making decisions? No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily, yeah.
So where would you start if you were talking to a customer and they said, how do you make it easy for me to surface insights?
So that's a very common theme that we're getting throughout all of our customers. Everybody says, what are you using session replay for? And we always say it for validation. This is a visual representation of exactly what the users were doing, but I don't want to have to look into 100 different replays, right? When you have so much content, you can spend 10, 20, 30 minutes and nobody wants to do a happy hour looking at session replays, right? What we're working on right now is working on summarizing not only the problems, but the general experience of what the user is doing in the session replay So we can point out key insights. Again, we're not talking about technical problems. We're talking about maybe this is what they were doing. And that's interesting because, okay, maybe they didn't have any technical problems, but they just didn't do what I thought they should be doing in that particular session.
Perfect. So in this particular example here, you see an example of how the AI analyzes the sessions and then surfaces up key insights to tell you what should we focus on, what should we do next.
Correct. And you don't need an army of people to then start looking at, hundreds of sessions of replays. You just have summary that helps with that.
So true story, I was talking to the team, when we first launched Session Replay, we sent popcorn to people as a marketing activity. So it's like, you can watch sessions with popcorn. And I go, what are you going to do now?
Well, yeah.
No more popcorn.
No more popcorn.
Oh, well, they're killing it. This is an example of how AI's gone rogue. Now we have an example of Alexander Wang's dashboard, and thankfully I've masked out any key metrics, but they obviously use this to analyze performance of their site, and there's two things on this. One is there's an AI summary on the right-hand side for a particular thing that they look at, but obviously the one on the left is a pretty typical dashboard, I guess.
I would say.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, no. So also very common theme, right? Like not every company has a super big analytics team. Some of them you're like either a one-person show or two people just working on analytics, and then you don't have the capacity to manage all of that data that you're getting. You're getting data. Believe me, everybody now gets data. We understand that this is kind of a commodity now, but it's how easy is it for you to understand the information that you're getting from any of these solutions, right? These AI summaries or these AI capabilities that we're getting you is basically allowing you to ask in natural language. Can you help me figure out where are my drop-offs, my biggest drop-offs from like my customers? If they're getting to my PDPs, what's the content that they're focusing on or not?
PDP, for anyone who doesn't understand?
Yeah, product detail page. Yeah.
Right.
And again, it's aiming to reduce the amount of hours that you're looking to actually investigating, and it's trying just to help you build the reports to extract the metrics that you're gonna need to make those educated decisions.
Spot check. I'm going to do this a little earlier than I did before. I want to make sure that John's doing a good enough job. You can forget mine. I'm sure you don't like me because I have an Australian accent. That's what my wife says anyway. So thumbs down. Like I want to get a kind of thermometer here on John's performance. How are we going? Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Man, this is good. You guys are great. Thank you so much. I hope you found this. How are you feeling? Are you nervous by this?
No, pretty good.
Yeah, you didn't want to do it though when I asked you.
I mean, come on. First time you ask, you have to say no.
All right, so what's next?
There's a couple of things that we were even discussing today, right? Like there's different layers of what we can help you with automatic insights, with AI-driven insights, but more to it is, okay, I understand there's a big drop-off between step 2 and 3 of my journey, of my regular flow. Okay, what's wrong in that particular second to third journey? Is it a specific device? Is it a specific location that has the IP blog? What is common between those sessions? And how can you help me pinpoint that? So instead of me now getting all of those metrics and understanding that drop-off happened, I know exactly what I need to address, and I can address on that immediately.
It's kind of then, that reminds me of the scenario where someone comes up and says, we're using Google Analytics. How is it differentiated then from Google Analytics?
So you're probably all familiar with Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics. They're telling you that there is conversion rate. Your conversion rate is 18%. That's great. One day you come and it's 10%. You're like, okay, great, thank you. Why? So that's what we do. We go a step deeper than that. We're actually capturing not only that the user clicked, we're also capturing all the technical information, all the frustration information, all the content that was exposed to the users. So you can basically, in one page, understand, did I show that content to the user? Did the user click on it? If they click on it, did they convert to whichever goal that you had set up? And keyword here is retroactively. So you don't have to manually tag all of that like you have to do on Google Analytics. We automatically tag every element on the page.
Awesome. When I interviewed Alexander Wang and I had the conversation with them, so for context for them as well, originally we were in the AI track, and I said to Christian, what do you do around AI? And he's like, oh my God, nothing yet. And I went, really? Interesting. Have you leveraged the AI insights within ContentSquare? And he said, yes, actually. It's incredible. And I go, is that not an example of leveraging AI? And he said, yes, I guess it is. And I go, what's your feedback on using it? And he said, it is quite literally, and I wish he had been on stage to say this because this was my whole like, oh yeah, amazing. It's like having an extra person in the team.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so have you got feedback from customers? As we wrap, we've got next steps to cover here that I remember to tick off, but I was super impressed that for teams that are time poor, the leverage of AI, we originally called it practical AI because it's built within a platform that's giving you the specifics of like, actually, what should I focus on? What should I do? Or a great quote from another customer that said, I can now ask in real time.
Even more important is how fast after onboarding a solution like us, you can start leveraging the data. Sometimes you get subscribed to a service, a product like ours, an enterprise level, and it takes 3, 4, 6 months to get used to understanding the reports that they produce and everything. With solutions and help like AI, you can start asking regular questions from the get-go, right? We're capturing all of the information. Can you tell me why this or this is happening? So onboarding is way faster.
Onboarding is a critical one because of, if you walk around all of the booths today, everyone has got AI on it. We did a demo earlier today, and for my assumption of like the product marketer in me couldn't help ourselves, we showed visualization of how the product worked, and then we showed AI, and what happened?
The AI word came out of my mouth, and they were like, oh, come on. So it's like we have AI fatigue now, right? Everybody's hearing this, but it's really what we're doing with it, it turned them around very quickly. It's like, oh, okay, great. That's actually pretty cool.
Yep. And so to summarize, guys, the main thing that we're trying to portray here, and the reason why we really wanted Alexander Wang was because they're a brand that really cares about the brand and the visual of what they put on the screen. So if you looked at that very initial zoning analysis as an example, it's very, very visual. And for them, it's really critical to understand how are people engaging with their brand as they're navigating through the website. And they even really didn't realize that they were leveraging an AI. So for the marketers out there, be careful marketing AI. Just say you can get answers to the insights that you need. Who cares how and where it comes from? So I would say the key next steps are really to focus on adopt the AI and stay relevant. Like we have to continue to iterate and we have to evolve. You have to change the way that you work. You have to experiment because jobs are going to change by 2030 as we've shown. Start small. Keep trialing all of these different things and keep experimenting with what you do. And obviously lean on your tech stack, like leveraging ContentSquare. We had a partner just up before, A/B Tasty, another great example of how you can integrate your tech stack and leverage AI to get better results and do all of these things on autopilot.
Absolutely. You can ingest the data, process it, and get better responses effectively.
And the other reason why I really like you being here instead of Alexander Wang is Christian was going to dress so much more immaculately than I was. And he's originally from one of the Italian fashion houses. So he was probably like in an Armani suit of some sort, but then now he's at Alexander Wang. And so I was always intimidated, but I was going to try and get like a family and friends discount at the end, and now I can't get it.
Well,
what are you going to give me? You're going to give me like a family and friends of something?
We can talk about that later.
Oh, sounds good. You guys can stop by our booth if you're interested in finding out more. Thank you for playing along with us, and I hope I made good use of your time. This is the first time I've ever had to do it. Please give John, more importantly, the big round of applause. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you all.